everyone, welcome to this week's edition of AAN News. I'm Lily Kim. With Jesse Jackson Jr. and Luis Gutierrez rattling about running for the next mayoral race, and a city council packed with women, African Americans, and one openly gay, you might think that diversity has found itself here in Chicago, but there is one glaring absence from this picture. There is no Asian American alderman. Last week, our Elaine Lowe went to the Cook County building before the break of dawn and will reveal what may change a seat in Chicago politics.
While most of the city was still asleep, political veterans and political hopefuls camped out downtown as early as 4 a.m. last Monday to file nomination papers with the Chicago Board of Elections.
I've been here about 4:15. I don't get up at this hour of the morning.
Dozens fought off the December chill with chairs, blankets, and hot coffee as they waited for the Cook County Administration Building to open at 6. Among them, Nazy Dolar, Filipino-American aldermanic candidate, along with over 20 of her most loyal supporters.
I'm here to see that Nazy becomes our next alderwoman, and I'm very proud of Nazy. She's inclusive. She wants everybody in the ward to have ward services. She includes everybody instead of excluding everybody.
I think we're going to get better services, more communication with the residents. We're just really excited about having a change and having her be the person. We have a lot of confidence in her.
Dolar, a Rogers Park native, was one of 126 others to file petitions on Monday. She hopes to make a change in her community and get rid of the so-called BS in the 50th ward.
I'm running against somebody who gives BS, Bernie Stone, and bad service, BS. We are here today because we share the same frustration, and I share that frustration of getting rid of bad government, ineffective government, and bad service.
If elected, Nazy Dolar will be the first Asian American to serve on the Chicago City Council, breaking new ground in Asian American politics.
I am looking forward to representing the community in the 50th ward that has 23% Asian Americans. It's a very diverse ward, and looking forward to represent them and give them the government that they want, which is honest and responsible government.
Elaine Lowe, AAN News.
A panel of state agencies want to create welcoming centers for immigrants. This will allow them to apply for job training, health care, and other services all in one place. This is a time when immigrants and their issues are at a national debate, and Illinois is one leader.
Illinois is providing leadership, bringing diverse communities together. Illinois is using the experience of the community to take concrete strides in dealing with this issue.
I think this is a monumental time for immigrants and refugees in Illinois, and I am in complete awe of the commitment that we in this room have made to improving services to immigrants and refugees in Illinois.
The panelists recognize it will be difficult to secure the funding with the decreasing state budget, but the Illinois Coalition for Immigrants and Refugee Rights said the spending is worth it if the immigrants can secure higher paying jobs and become full civic contributors.
We first identify some of the key areas we want to work on, whether it's citizenship, English language acquisition, education, human services, and health.
The panel recommends an additional $25 million in funding for English.
We need to begin learning English at an earlier age. English should be an integral part of preschool, and parental involvement is also very important for the success of children in our schools. Keep in mind that dual language classes do benefit English-speaking children as well as non-English-speaking children.
Almost 2 million immigrants live in Illinois, with a population rising at 35,000 a year. With recent spikes of immigrants in suburbs and downstate towns, the proposed state-funded centers will be placed there. Governor Blagojevich, who commissioned the panels, has yet to commit to any funding. South Korea's Ban Ki-moon was sworn in as the 8th UN Secretary General. Ban pledges to be a bridge builder and lead a dynamic and courageous United Nations when he takes over New Year's. The 62-year-old told ambassadors, by strengthening the 3 pillars of our United Nations, which are security, development, and human rights, we can build a more peaceful, more prosperous, and more just world for succeeding generations. From news to music and shopping, there has never been a time when more people jumped on the internet for their basic needs. An ongoing research shows 70% of the Americans rely on this virtual network, rapidly turning this country into a cyber nation. Our Ingrid Yanada explores the issue.
Lauren Yu had a choice, reporting for a newspaper or online. And with newspaper circulation numbers going down year after year, she chose to publish her writings on the internet.
It was obvious through how newspapers are going that internet news, online news is increasingly important. It's a place where a lot of readers are going to get their news.
Her choice reflects a trend. Where is our nation headed?
It's anybody's guess how many people are going to be reading newspapers in the next 10, 20 years, and whether or not newspapers will be sort of a charming nostalgic relic of the past, that generations will say, oh, when I was a kid, we used to read these things called newspapers.
A research study showed just 6 years ago, half of Americans used the internet. Today, more than 70% of them rely on cyberspace.
You can basically access the world from your chair. And so it's a convenience factor.
A convenience that comes at a cost.
It has as much of a tendency to bring people together as it does, in a sense, to keep them apart.
The internet is still early in its years compared to TV or the radio, making it hard even for researchers to guess what the future will bring. But one thing is for certain.
There will continue to be a digital divide. There will still be people who cannot, for whatever reason, either economics or knowledge, use the internet, and they're probably going to be increasingly left behind.
Ingrid Yanada, AAN News.
Some cell phone factory workers are in serious trouble. Chinese, Thai, Filipino, and Indian workers face chemical poisoning, causing chronic illness and serious physical harm. They make parts for Nokia, Motorola, Samsung, Sony, and LG and are working without the proper protection. Health and safety standards are particularly violated in the Chinese and Thai factories. 9 Chinese workers are already hospitalized. 1 pregnant woman had to undergo an abortion. Motorola said it will improve the manufacturing processes to prevent any more similar incidents. Hyundai may build plants in South America and South Asia. The automaker's vice chairman, Kim Dong-jin, said setups would start after new models are developed. However, particular countries are yet specified. Close associate J.D. Powers advises the car company to multinationalize its image. Most people still see Hyundai as a Korean product. Hyundai did beat Toyota and Honda in the J.D. Power initial quality test study early this year, recording the 3rd least problematic after Lexus and Porsche. While many college students are studying for their final exams, one school came up with an idea to take the stress away. Students who needed a break made the most out of the new concept. AAN brings you into the stress-free zone.
It looks more like a game arcade than one of Chicago's top engineering schools, at least for one day.
The students here, they need a little break so that they can kind of, use their energy, go back and concentrate again on their studies. But studying 24 hours, 7 days a week may not necessarily be the best way for a student to approach finals.
The Illinois Institute of Technology created a stress-free zone for students who needed a timeout from studying.
You can study in your room and stay there, studying in the library, but coming out to do something where you can have just a tad bit of fun, hang out with your friends real quick for a few minutes, and then go back to studying is a really nice way of kind of building community.
There's lots of hard-working students here, but you can't always study or you will go crazy and possibly depressed and suicidal. So you have this place to hang out.
So they offered free games and free body massages for those who needed a quick getaway.
Tomorrow I have an easy task, so it works out. That's why I'm playing.
Oh, it feels good. I mean, Working out, it always, gets the blood going, makes your body feel better, it gets your mind a little more active so you can focus on other things.
Free games can be a distraction from studying, but parents need not worry.
If they can't stop, well, luckily the building closes, so they'll have to stop at that time.
Ingrid Yanada, AAN News.
Still to come, see what some kind-hearted Chicagoans are doing around town for the season, find out how to get a free Christmas CD, and we'll reveal the lives of some struggling Asian actors here in the Midwest. All up next on AAN. Dozens showed up at a Korean drama party. The shocking part, none of them were Korean. Our Ingrid Yanada takes us to a Northwest Chicago church, bringing you to the party for the Korean at heart.
I like the historical dramas better than the modern ones for the most part, but there's a couple exceptions. We liked Who's My Love a lot. That was, and we liked the Chill Sisters.
I think it's pretty cool. I appreciate learning about the Korean culture and just like the way they respect their elders.
I'm 100% Polish, and here I am loving everything about these shows.
They came from all walks of life, but there's one thing they have in common. They all love to watch Korean dramas shown on KBC-TV. And finally, the fan club met in person last week.
I didn't know that anybody else watched them. I met J.P. Paulus because he had a website.
On a fan board, you just email, but this brings it all to reality.
We have the same common interest, which is the Korean drama, so it's fun to be somewhere where we can talk about them and not be made fun of.
The party was held at the Free Will Baptist Church. Lucky for the group, the pastor also happened to be a big fan of Korean dramas.
We try as a church to be very culturally diverse, and we're needing more people involved from different cultures to add to that diversity, because it's the diversity that gives us strength.
These avid fans of Korean drama said they came to the gathering to better understand the stories and the cultural context. And some even admitted they had fallen in love with the Korean culture.
I would love to learn Korean and Arabic. So that is one of my goals, my life goals.
I've purchased books and read things that I know I would never in a million years go and have interest in were it not for the Korean dramas.
Cueto also showed off some of the skills she got from watching Korean soap operas.
And I know how to say give me coffee, which is kopi chuseo. They're pretty easy. Yeah. So I could actually go to a Korean restaurant, say hello, order my coffee, and say thank you. It's like a whole conversation right there.
If you are curious and want to learn more about the Korean Drama Fan Club, email us at AAN41Chicago@AOL.com. Ingrid Yanada, AAN News.
This year marks the 25th anniversary of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington. The Museum Resource Center houses more than 100,000 mementos from war medals to ID tags and photos. The war, which took place in the 60s, was one of the United States' most controversial wars. The black granite contains almost 60,000 names of American military men who died in Vietnam. The Museum Resource Center is not open to the public, but items from the collection will be displayed in an underground facility that will be built near the memorial. The expected finish date, 2010. All around Chicago, many kind-hearted people are spreading the Christmas cheer. We start off with one local church with over 50 college athletes at one homeless shelter. A handful of City View Church members spent hours preparing a generous dinner, and 50 homeless men in uptown Chicago were in on one special Christmas treat.
We wanted to serve the guys a candlelight dinner with turkey and trimmings and whatnot, and we had guys dressed in suits with, being waiters. And basically the baseball guys came in, they brought presents, like loads of presents. They went right in and they started speaking with the guy.
Wheaton College athletes brought many gifts.
The presents are just some shirt boxes filled with just some Bibles and some socks and some winter hats, some personal hygiene items, just kind of some basic needs that they need to have met, so that they all kind of got the same box of presents. It's just a really great opportunity to come out this evening and just serve some guys who don't have a lot of things and kind of are down and out, just to kind of come and brighten up their holidays and just give them a nice evening. So it's a lot of fun. It's a great opportunity.
And many took the time to just sit down with the guys to get to know one another. But the night had to come to an end and ended with songs of shelter. Songs of Shelter doesn't just come out during the holidays, but throughout the year. To learn more about Songs of Shelter, log on to www.songsofshelter.org. Chicago's Association of Asian Professionals helped create many smiles this Christmas. Working hard at Navy Pier's Children's Museum, they had their donations in hand and were eager to bring some cheer to the underprivileged. They're known as NAP, the National Association of Asian Professionals, and this is their 4th year spreading the Christmas will of giving.
It's really wonderful. Chicago Children's Museum has a long history of working with communities from all throughout Chicago. And as we look to the future, we're looking to reach out even more and reach out to the Asian American community. So doing something like this helps us out, and it's part of our goal to serve all the families and children in Chicago.
All of NAP's proceeds will go to the Asian Youth Services and the Cambodian Association of Illinois.
We wanted to focus on little small organizations, who have maybe less funding, and so that we could actually help them with with toys and holiday parties.
Sherry Fenton is the founder of Asian Youth Services. She houses many of the first and second generation immigrants, many of them who've lived through the Southeast Asian Holocaust.
I am so grateful because they offered us toys for our kids for Christmas, and we really don't have extra funding for that, so it's really helpful. And all of our kids will get toys.
There's a free gift for you a few clicks away. Some of the best Filipino American artists from all over the U.S. are offering a holiday compilation album entitled Rocky Yuletide 2 is available as high-quality MP3 downloads at www.soulworksrecords.com. It comes with a digital album cover and sleeve. The project is the Phil and music scene's gift to those who have supported and made 2006 a breakout year for them. Christmas is almost here and there's still a lot to do besides shopping. Take a break and enjoy some of AAN's recommendations of to-dos around town. Curable Theater presents The Nutcracker and the King of Mice, a fresh version of the story but explores the darker side of childhood. At the Chicago Cultural Center Studio Theater, located at 77 East Randolph, The Nutcracker and the King of Mice is suitable for all ages and is playing Friday through Sunday from now until January. Tickets run $10 to $15. Holiday Celebration offers many ways to enjoy holiday music, and this Friday is the last night to delight in the new holiday tradition, caroling at Cloud Gate, what many refer to as the Bean at Millennium Park. Chicagoans and visitors are invited to the Chicago Icon to hear the variety of choral groups along with holiday sing-alongs. Those singing are also invited to hold holiday candles reflecting twinkling lights in the stainless steel of Cloud Gate. This Friday, December 22nd at 6 p.m. will be the last night. Okay, fine. For those of you who just can't keep away from the shopping, AAN has several spots where you can find unusual gifts for your maybe unusual family members or for some of those who just already has everything. Try Chicago's very own landmarks. For that animal lover, head to the Shed Aquarium and get a trainer for a day gift certificate running $350, or head to the Field Museum to buy that little guy a stuffed dinosaur suit and book. And at the Adler Planetarium, delight your stargazer with a NASA in-flight spacesuit running about $50 and stuff their stocking with astronaut ice cream. And I'm sure it won't be difficult to find anything else more unusual at the gift shops of the Museum of Contemporary Art and the Museum of Science and Industry. If you have any questions about any of our events or have any story ideas, please write us at AAN41Chicago@AOL.com. Asian American theater is big in the East Coast and the West Coast, but here in the Midwest, some of these actors are struggling to be in the spotlight. Our Ingrid Yanada met with some Asian performers that held the first-time meeting in Chicago.
Call it ironic, but unlike the place where they met, a small bar called The Hideout on this empty street, These Asian American artists are desperate to get out of their hiding place.
We are a group of Asian American artists coming together tonight, the first time, in order to make our presence known here in Chicago.
Sermonia is the artistic director for Due East Theater Company, an outlet for Asian American performers. He saw the need to bring Chicago's Asian American artists together.
I'm sort of seeking or hoping that comes out of this group is just, sort of a way to give ourselves, or make opportunities for ourselves as opposed to waiting for somebody else.
I think it's important that we have like a real home for Asian American artists.
I'm really interested in seeing how we can help develop the audience.
Would I like to see bigger Asian American numbers come see Asian American shows? Yes, definitely. I mean, I think it's about time that we see art reflect our Asian American experiences on the stage, on the page, on television, on film, wherever. Visual arts as well.
For many years, the growth in Asian American theater had been weighed down by lack of interest from Asian American audience.
We just don't seem to have the numbers in order to sustain a company that does 3 or 4 shows a year, like on the West Coast or on the East Coast. Heck, even in Minneapolis, Minnesota, there are 2 theater companies, which is Theater Moo and Mixed Blood, that have a fantastic following. They've been around since the early 90s, and we just haven't been able to have that staying power.
Nevertheless, the fact that they came to this meeting showed that there is still hope. Ingrid Yanada, AAN News.
Thank you for choosing AAN, your Asian news leader. Catch a rebroadcast Tuesday mornings at 8. And tune in next Monday night and get a glimpse of one of our nation's biggest Chinatowns. And our Ingrid Yanada will take us to a Lego robotics tournament. I'm Lily Kim. Thank you and see you next time.